1886, Atlanta, Georgia. A wounded Civil War veteran stirs a mysterious syrup in a backyard kettle. His name is John Pemberton, and the wound never really healed. It left him addicted to morphine. He isn't trying to invent a soft drink. He's desperately trying to invent a cure for his own pain. He mixes coca leaf extract, cola nut, sugar, and secret oils, hoping to build a safer tonic. He carries a jug of the syrup to Jacob's Pharmacy on Peachtree Street and asks them to sell it. His bookkeeper, Frank Robinson, comes up with a name he thinks sounds pleasant and rhythmic. Robinson writes it out himself, in flowing cursive letters, on a scrap of paper, Coca-Cola. Nobody in that pharmacy realizes they're looking at the exact logo billions of people will recognize. The tonic sells for 5 cents a glass. On its very first day, it sells 9 drinks. His health continues declining, and so does his grip on the company he accidentally created. Desperate for cash, he starts selling off pieces of the formula rights to different buyers. By the time he dies in 1888, ownership of Coca-Cola is scattered across several different hands. An ambitious Atlanta businessman named Asa Candler begins quietly buying up every single piece. Candler spends a total of roughly $2,300 to gain complete control of the entire company. He turns a backyard tonic recipe into an aggressive, nationwide advertising machine. Coca-Cola signs, clocks, and calendars start appearing in stores across the American South. In 1899, 2 young lawyers approach Candler with an unusual request about bottling rights. They want to bottle Coca-Cola in glass and sell it in stores far from soda fountains. Candler, distracted and skeptical about bottled soda's future, agrees to their proposal almost carelessly. He sells them the exclusive national bottling rights for the price of exactly $1. It becomes one of the most catastrophic business decisions in the history of American commerce. Those bottling rights eventually generate untold billions of dollars, almost none of it flowing back to Candler. By 1915, cheap imitators are flooding the market with copycat bottles shaped just like Coca-Cola's. The company issues a challenge to glass manufacturers across the country: design something unmistakable. It needs to be recognizable in the dark, by touch alone, even if the bottle shatters into pieces. A young designer named Earl Dean sketches a curved, ribbed bottle inspired by the cocoa pod, not the coca leaf. That accidental inspiration becomes the contour bottle, one of the most famous shapes in industrial design. In 1941, the United States enters World War II, and Coca-Cola's president makes an extraordinary vow. Robert Woodruff declares that every man in uniform will get a bottle for 5 cents. No matter where he is stationed, no matter what it costs the company to deliver it. The military builds bottling plants directly behind the front lines just to keep that promise alive. Soldiers drink Coca-Cola on aircraft carriers, in desert camps, and inside liberated European cities. By the war's end, an entire generation across multiple continents has tasted this specific American drink. The bottle becomes something bigger than soda. It becomes a symbol of home, comfort, and victory. Even the formula itself becomes part of the company's carefully built mythology over the decades. Locked inside a vault in downtown Atlanta, it's guarded like a national treasure on public display. Company lore claims that only a small handful of executives ever know the complete recipe at once. Legend says those executives are never allowed to travel on the same airplane together. True, exaggerated, or pure marketing myth, the mystery becomes priceless advertising the company never has to pay for. Then, in April 1985, the company makes what will become its most infamous decision in a century. Facing growing pressure from a sweeter, younger rival, Coca-Cola quietly reformulates its own century-old recipe. They call it New Coke, and they retire the original formula without much public warning. The reaction is immediate, furious, and completely unlike anything the company's executives had predicted. Angry phone calls flood corporate headquarters, thousands of them, every single day for weeks. Protest groups form. Consumers hoard cases of the old formula like it's about to disappear forever. One outraged customer reportedly threatens to switch permanently to the company's biggest competitor for life. Just 79 days later, the company reverses course completely and brings back the original formula. They rename it Coca-Cola Classic, and the relaunch becomes an even bigger cultural moment than the failure. Sales spike immediately. Some analysts later suggest the entire controversy was a brilliant, if accidental, marketing stunt. The company never confirms that theory, and the debate still continues among historians today. A morphine-addicted veteran's backyard tonic is now sold in more countries than the United Nations has members. Over 1.9 billion servings of Coca-Cola products are consumed worldwide every single day. The cursive handwriting of a 19th-century bookkeeper still appears on billboards from Tokyo to Times Square. And it all started with a kettle, an oar for stirring, and 9 glasses sold on day one.